Hey Bowtie Nation, Joseph Hogue here, about to show you 5 stock screeners that will make investing easy. 5 ways to find stocks for every type of investor, from dividends to stock traders and beginners. This is one of the most frequent questions I get. What's the best stock screener? And while I'm going to show you how to use each of these 5 stock screeners in the video, the truth is the best is going to be different for different investors. Nation, I've done a lot of research into stocks, not just as an analyst for more than 10 years, but also as an investor for more than 2 decades. I think I've seen about every kind of stock screener and definitely have my favorites. But the best for you is going to depend on your style of investing and which gives you the tools you need. That's why I'm highlighting 5 stock screeners for different types of investing to give you the choices you need to find the one you like best. Let's get started with the best stock screener for dividend investors and some information on Seeking Alpha you won't find anywhere else. I wrote for Seeking Alpha for a few years all the way back in 2010 and still use the platform for its screener and analysis. Click on the stock screener in the left menu and you'll find lots of screens already built for you, from top-rated stocks to dividend picks and value. You can adjust the criteria on these to find your own stocks or start your own screen. To start a new screen, we'll first go here to Advanced Filters to find the criteria we want for our investing style. I'm going to toggle out some of these pre-selected because I don't really care what country the company is in or the quant rating. Now, for all the pluses of the Seeking Alpha screen, the con is that it can feel overwhelming at first. There are dozens of filters in each of these categories, so you can get lost really quick. From trading indicators to dividends, valuation, earnings, there are filters for every type of investor, so it's best to stick with just one strategy. That's going to help keep your stock screen simple and refine it as you go. For dividend stocks, we can toggle on this ex-dividend date, a great filter that I haven't seen anywhere else that allows you to search for stocks going ex-dividend right when you need it. We'll also filter for dividend yield, payout ratio, 5-year growth, and years of growth. And this screen is super easy to use. Let's say we're looking for good dividend stocks that will go ex-dividend in August, so I'm going to use the drop downs here and select the month. We want stocks paying at least a 3% dividend yield and not paying out more than 50% of earnings as their dividends, so that measure of dividend sustainability. I also want to see at least 5% annual dividend growth over the last 5 years, and at least 5 years of growing dividends. In the results, you've got a lot of fundamental info here side by side to compare your stocks. I don't pay much attention to the grades, but the other information is very useful. Then click through a stock and go to the Dividends tab in the menu, and you're going to see something really innovative. Not only do you get all the basic information like yield, payout ratio, and dividend growth, but if you click over here to Dividend Estimates, you get actual dividend forecasts for the stock. Here we see forecasts are for MetLife to increase its dividend by 4.7% a year, paying out $2.14 a share next year, and $2.25 a share in 2025. It's the only resource I've found that enables you to plan out your dividend payments years in advance. And there is a lot more on Seeking Alpha to like besides the stock screeners. From portfolio tracking, analysis, news, you'll be able to sit in on a company's earnings announcements and attend webinars on how to invest. If you want to try it out, I'm going to leave a link in the video description below to a 2-week free trial. Look for the link below and try it out for 14 days risk-free to see if you like it. We'll get right back to that list and 4 more stock screeners, but I've got to send that special shout out to all you out there in the Bowtie Nation. Thank you for spending a part of your day to be here. If you're not part of that community yet, just click that little red subscribe button. It's free and you'll never miss an episode. Now, one complaint I've always had about the Webull platform is the desktop version for us old-timers is a little funky, but is a rock-solid screener for stock traders on mobile. Even as a long-term investor, I use the trading screener here to find the best entry points into stocks to make sure I'm getting in at the right time. I'll walk you through the screener next, but it's really intuitive compared to other trading apps. Besides the screener, my favorite feature here is the paper portfolio. The app gives you $1 million to trade and follow your stock ideas, a great opportunity to test out your strategies to see how they do before risking real money. It works just like buying or selling any stock. You just put in your order and the stock goes into your paper portfolio. I can add Apple here to my paper portfolio and track it until I want to invest for real money. Here we'll click on Screener in the top menu, and you can see I've already got some screens saved that I've used in the past. We'll create a new screen here, and the app is really good about making this easy with the most important fundamental factors like returns on equity and profitability margins right here at the top. Its real power, though, is through the technical indicators and trading patterns, more than 40 charting and trading indicators you can choose from. And what I really like about the Webull screener compared to other trading apps is you don't have to be a trader or an expert in these indicators. We click here to the Head and Shoulders signal. We see the app lets you choose from just bullish signal or bearish one. You don't need to interpret the chart yourself. You just say whether you're looking for stocks with bullish upside momentum or bearish downside and what your investing time frame is. So I'll pick bullish and then for stocks with a long-term upside. Another bonus here, you can filter stocks by analyst rating. So we'll narrow our list to only those stocks with a strong buy rating and click done. And again, I can invest in these in my paper portfolio stock to track that strategy before committing real money. Webull has one of the most generous free stock promotions you'll find, so I'm going to leave a link to that in the description as well. Even if you don't use the app, click through and get your free stocks. Try out the app, and if you don't like it, just take your free stocks and run. You'll also get cash back for transferring from another platform and earn 5% on your cash in the account. I'm going to highlight the stock screener I've used longer than any other next, but I also want to walk you through what to look for and how to find a screener that works best for you. And the most obvious start is finding a screener with the factors you need for your type of investing. For example, while most stock screeners will let you filter by company size, the Seeking Alpha screener is the only one I've found to let you filter by payout date. So, for example, if you're trying to build a weekly income portfolio, then that's exactly the kind of screen you'd need. It's why I'm highlighting 5 stock screeners here in this video to show you as many options as possible for whatever you need. You'll also want the ability to save your screens so you can come back to them and see any updates in the stock list. This is going to save you a lot of time, and you'll be able to refine and improve your screener as you use it, instead of just starting over from scratch every time. Conversely, though, you don't want a screener that's too complicated or offers way more options than you need. This is the biggest problem in stock screeners, that push to include more and more filters. I call this the Fast and Furious syndrome, the urge to just keep one-upping the last movie until you take a solid franchise about car racing and have them jumping tanks out of planes. In stock screeners, it leads to screens with just hundreds of filters and making it difficult to choose and where none really give you what you need. The solution again here is just try out different screeners to find that perfect balance of the filters you need without all the fluff. When you do find the one you like, you cash in on all the free stocks and the cash back that you've gotten from other platforms and just move it all over to the one you're going to use. I've been using the screener on E-Trade longer than any other, since starting an account on Brown & Company in 1999 while still in the Marine Corps. When E-Trade acquired them, they added a lot of great features like the market calendar I use every week to find earnings, and then this sector snapshot to drill down into sector returns, industries, and the average fundamentals for stocks in each. You'll find the screener in the stocks section under this markets and ideas, and what I really like about E-Trade is access to all the analyst research and reports, including the most recent upgrades and downgrades. Clicking over to the stock screener, and it's laid out really well in sections to make screening easy. You can screen by market segment, price, volume criteria, and here in opinions for analyst recommendations. Any of these can be expanded to show the full list of filters in each section, with some filters that you won't find anywhere else, like the PEG ratio. For example, let's say you want to find some penny stocks with big upside, but the extra research needed for these kinds of stocks worries you a little. We'll toggle for micro and small cap companies here, and then for stocks under $5 a share to narrow our list. Now to find those penny stocks with research already prepared, we can scroll down here into opinion section. The research done by Morgan Stanley on its overweight picks is always a good place to start, so we'll toggle this on. Now, another bonus of the E-Trade screener is it gives you all this information about each stock. A lot of the info you need to compare stocks is right here side by side. We can click through here and sort the stocks by return, by valuations, other fundamentals like return on equity, even by technical indicators and short interest. And by clicking through any of these, I can go to the stock page and go to analyst research in the menu, taking me to a solid amount of information, including price targets and opinions. Scrolling down to fundamental research, I'm going to find the stock reports from Morgan Stanley, Reuters, and Morningstar. I can click through and download entire research reports to start my own research. Now, SoFi doesn't have a stock screener itself, but I wanted to include it as a great way to find stock ideas. I just started using the bank and brokerage earlier this year and really like having the two together in one place. For investing, you'll go into your account and scroll down. You can check out these features to explore, which are really just special offers, but something to check out like zero commission options and cash back if you invest in cryptocurrencies. Scrolling down to the discovery section, this is where you get some of those interesting stock and investing ideas. The first section here, collections, are stock themes like companies holding bitcoins, foreign stocks, and dividend growers. Click through and you'll get ideas for individual stocks in each theme. We'll see this next section again as an ETF later, the most widely held stocks by platform users. It's a really interesting strategy for investing along with the crowd in popular names like Tesla, Amazon, and Apple. You get another momentum theme here in this trending section. These are the stocks with the highest week-over-week increases in investor purchases on the site. And then here at the bottom are the SoFi ETFs, exchange-traded funds you can buy just like stocks that follow a specific theme or group of stocks. There are some great ideas here, like the SoFi Web 3.0 ETF, and not only can you invest directly in these, but click through and see which stocks are held in the fund for ideas on individual stocks. There's also the SoFi Social 50 ETF, a fund of the 50 most widely held stocks by investors, again allowing you to follow that investor enthusiasm and the momentum in one fund, or by seeing the individual stocks it holds. Click on the link I'll leave in the description, open an account, and SoFi is going to give you $25 free cash back to get you started. You'll also get your own link to share and $75 for every friend that signs up, so look for that link in the description below. We've still got my favorite ETF screener to highlight, but one thing these stock screeners won't show you is the optimal order to invest your money for that maximum growth. For that, check out the video here in the corner for the best investments and best order to make them to grow your wealth. Now, we've been focusing on stock screeners, but one of my favorite ETF screeners can be found right here on Yahoo Finance. Just go to screeners here in the menu where you're going to find the stock screener, mutual fund, and here the ETF screener. And I really like this one for its simplicity, giving you just what you need to find great ETFs by category. It starts you off with a few filters here, but I usually like adding a couple more, so we'll click here to add another filter and add volume and the ever-important gross expense ratio to help us find those that aren't charging us too much to hold them. Now, the screener is a little wonky because you have to select the exchange on which the fund trades, so I'll select NASDAQ and NYSE, and this estimated results is going to adjust each time you create a filter, so you can see how far the list is narrowed down before you start looking at results. And here's where I really like the screener, in the ability to filter by specific categories. This gives you the opportunity to really dial in your investing by getting exposure to a very specific theme. There is every conceivable theme here, and it takes a minute to get through the list, but it's really useful in filling those gaps in your portfolio. You might need more corporate bonds in your portfolio or foreign stocks. Here you can filter for mid-sized companies, or let's say we want to chase those growth tech stocks, so we're going to toggle on technology to find funds around that theme. Now, that's already narrowed our list quite a bit, but we can also filter by Morningstar rating that narrows it down to just 6 funds. I want to start with a few more options here, so we'll take that off. We definitely want to filter out some of the most expensive funds, so I'm going to look for ETFs with a gross expense ratio of less than 0.5% a year. That's going to give us 12 funds to look through, including the VanEck Semiconductor ETF and some interesting ones like this cloud computing fund. Now, one reason I do like to use the volume filter for funds is if you click through to this Fidelity Metaverse ETF, you can see it only has about 6,000 shares traded daily and 16 million in assets. That could mean a big bid-ask spread, or eventually that the fund is shut down if it can't grow assets to support its expenses. So I'll usually add this volume criteria and at least 25,000 shares traded daily. That helps to find the funds with more investor attention that are going to have the smaller bid-ask spreads and higher assets. I've left links to special offers and cash back on those screeners in the description below, or click on the video to the right for the best ways to invest your money for maximum growth. Don't forget to join the Let's Talk Money community by tapping that subscribe button and clicking the bell notification.